back with another video. I'm in Claire's. Get myself some hair clips. It's like, it's, man, oh man, he's lagging again. I don't care. I'm just sticking to my strategy. The continued dollar cost averaging.
You know what? I don't think that straws good enough. They're not what we normally think of as what great urbanism looks like. They're not going away anytime soon. It's just missing them, I think, blinds us to their value and their possibility. You got tucked behind those parking lot areas and superficial flat facades by something that's far more influential and surprisingly beneficial than you might expect. Strip malls, local entrepreneurship, or they can provide the tools for convenient, healthy living, and they might just be for resilient communities today. And unlike their enclosed cousins, these buildings are not dead. In fact, they're thriving. But this is why you should not be quite so quick to write off lonely. You might not be feeling it quite, but strip malls are quietly becoming one of the hottest real estate investments. To be clear, I am not offering investment advice here, but whenever real estate fundamentals start changing so drastically as they are with this, they hint that some cultural changes are lurking in retail opportunity investment. 90 strip. They were just snapped up by Blackstone for $4 billion. Meanwhile, $10 billion worth of U.S. open air retail portfolios are projected to change hands after decades falling values. So why the Sun Boulevard? According to the pros, accelerating fundamentals. Both of them saying, making a lot of money. Over 95% of strip mall space is actually healthy. It's outperforming almost every other form of retail because new construction is so costly these days, especially in this weird post-pandemic retail era. Existing strip malls are becoming hot property. It's an entirely new calculus. Instead of letting their crusty 1970s complex rot away, owners suddenly have real incentive to invest in partly because the community wants it, partly because they start to wait for rival property owners. Shockingly, they might be listening to what shoppers want. Brings up to a real question. Beyond just offering a place to commission a sandwich artist or a latte, but also using well, that's dependent on a few different factors. Of course, right here at Market, the place where many strip malls ever. All the buildings were designed at once, look cohesive, connected by an arcaded walkway, managed by a single company. Like the foundation of any good strip mall, well survived. I don't think going on GTA 6 delay. I guess they not going to us, but now this one stacks here with a ton of diversity. To some extent, I'm almost happy your GTA gives all this other great stuff room to breathe, as well as some room to battle it out. What's probably the most stacked crowded game of the year contest recently. What makes this year's game of the year discussion so interesting is there's no big obvious front no GTA 5 or Elden Ring. Obviously, everyone have their own personal favorites, but even among us for the game range, there's very opinion on what could and could win. But even more so, just an evaluation of what probably will win. Often there's a game where we're all like, well, that's not even if we want it to come. We're not at that point. And yeah, I get it. It seems like it might be a little early to start this discussion, but keep in mind, balance for game awards go out early November, and the actual show airs between December 12th and here. 2025 shows are December 11th, and because ballots go on, so for the games that come out in November, December just aren't eligible. And obviously, game awards aren't the definitive game of the for the most part, is considered a big one. Whatever website does their own awards, has their own topics. A lot of the time, you beat a certain side or watch a certain person because you agree with them, and then what they put as game award matters more than the game award to you, but collectively, like the Oscars, the game awards are all like discussion. It's the biggest award show game, and no matter how much you are on that agree with them, they're the big ones. So, hi folks, it's Mel. Today on Gamer, we're going to run down the frankly ridiculous slate of games in the run. We're not doing this a list necessarily here. I think this one's better suited for discussion format. Some games talk more about, again, talk about less about. And before we get going, I just gotta say, if you like what we really appreciate it. Right. Without any further ado, let's talk about how Game of the Year 2025 is not even ridiculous. So, it's obviously fun to speculate, talk about the year, what the fight, what didn't, what deserves recognition is. But of course, if you like the game and you play the game, that's what really matters. It's just fun to speculate about, especially permanently industry rank. All are here. So before we get into what we do think will make up the primary nominee, let's just run down how much of an insane year it's been. So what's so interesting about 2025, it's a pretty solid mix of more standard, highly anticipated, overhyped big games, and those sort of out of nowhere surprise slam dunks. Plenty of them. Starting with Kingdom Come Delivered 2 and Failure. This game kind of caused all my surprise because while the first game is kind of flawed, the sequel is absolutely excellent. It's got an engaging story, unique challenge, gameplay, beautiful world before, and it was impressively stable compared to how much bloody mess the original. Kingdom Come was an immediate game of the year contender. It really is a huge step up for the first game and it deserves all the accolades. Later, the same month though, we got another game that every year release was kind of pre-release was kind of like, oh, this is probably a game. But it didn't really fully live up to the hype. That is, of course, Monster Wilds. Now, we can all have our different opinions on Monster Wilds. I actually think it's not a quite game. Basically, what I want. A lot of people thought not as good as Monster Hunter World. There's reasons why a more streamlined experience works better for certain. And there's reasons why it doesn't. No judgment. Whatever side of the line we're on that. I think we all know it's not really in the running. There's also some pretty bad performance. I'm just going to say our series. One of the failing difficult, like majority of the biggest, most talked about are uniquely demanding challenges. Those are more simulation routes. Puts a lot of pressure on these players. A lot of open world RPG
has the player gain skills and learns how the game works. It becomes less difficult, but it takes perseverance to get. On the flip side, a lot of things about Monster Hunter Wilds is that they made it too easy. People say it removed a lot of the challenge that makes those games so interesting, and that left people just. I'm not sure that's what it is, but I get why people are saying that too. But Split Fiction, that's a game that doesn't really good. It came out March 6th. It's one of those games you all expected to be good, and it was. It's a follow-up to Takes Two. It's an excellent triumph of co-op game design. It's creative, a whole lot of fun, while being mechanically a little more complex. Sure, the story is fluff, but It Takes Two story is odd, to say the least. And I'm just gonna say this one has more entertaining story. It seems like almost a prerequisite nomination. I feel like it would basically any other year, and at least early on, I think we all assumed what wasn't stack is. So maybe at the time it seemed like an easy block for those 5 slots, but now in September it's not. Of course, it's still a great co-op game, and some of those early safety codes are things that I think Slipfish probably. There's a lot to talk about, so I'm gonna say I don't know that this is guaranteed. I think it's fairly safe, but not a lot. Assassin's Creed Shadows came out March 10th, and it was generally considered a step up in the series. I don't think it's here anymore. They're gonna have to look at Google. They can do them round up. I don't think that. Getting back on track, I think the next major pick for many, especially time release, was Blueprints, which came out April 10th. Roguelike puzzle game, fine heart condemned. I do think what drove so much appeal, especially now though, it's just that weird, and it's a really found puzzle game that is literally full of surprises. There's a genuinely mind-blowing stuff in the game, but it's all wrapped up in a semi-random roguelike structure. At first, it feels like the randomness is bullshit, and then you get far enough in, you start understanding the controller randomness, and it's satisfying as hell. And then you get further in, and the randomness starts to feel like bullshit. It can't press early, and it's extremely difficult to solve on your own. But in this case, the difficulty of the game is double. It's worth it. So, love it. I don't. I think I've been a little more twice now. Back. But ultimately, I think it's another major contender for game of the year, even with other more popular. Like Player Sphere Expedition, a game that absolutely dominated the discussion. Is in many ways still one of the front runners for game of the year. I think people seriously following the game before release. They knew it was going to be special, but for a lot of us, it really blindsided us. You see this thing without knowing much about it. You see a big flaw called Class for Middle Layer. Is it classic? It's definitely not on my part. I talked about it repeatedly working out in no kind of game list. I mean, it looks cool to me, but I wasn't expecting it to, blow my mind or anything. It though, like coming to such small team being sold for lower price point, level of quality. It's an excellent, beautiful story, excellent voice acting, incredible music, and an innovative battle system that remains a nostalgic throwback. It is that a bold step forward at the same time. That's what makes the game work so well. While certain games have kind of inevitably some games still heavily in the conversation. It's a constant source of debate and discussion. It's got challenging gameplay, complex, has a somewhat divisive story, and weird relationships are genre given France. One of those games is deliberately old school, but also very modern in a way that speaks. It wasn't until 2006 that we didn't get another game with the same caliber with Death Stranding 2. Major games released in like Doom, Dark Ages, Mario Kart. Game of the year in our hearts, the masterpiece. It was my time, but none of those games did. Death Stranding 2 does. It's a massive game, but it's not a story full of Hollywood celebrity, technology. Jeff Keighley's best friend Hideo Kojima. There's a Dow. That's a man. His name is Dalman. Dalman. It's the type of thing that the game awards make. It's got everything in a workshop. And while it's in many ways a highlight reel of Christian fear, it's still a game that irons out some flaws. The original, which maybe some people makes it less of an experience for at first, but it's so much fun. Pure, dark, goofy, slow, and that sometimes full on action packed, thrill ride others. It's got everything. If you're on board with Kojima, weirdness, which he leads into this time. All the serious dark content, all wall breaking, certainly. I mean, it might be the best all around game from Kojima. I love his game, the best all around. But a game I don't think a lot of people are talking about Dungeon Bonanza, which came out mid-July. Looked too many okay. I want to say, look back at me talking about it. I was like, it was. Nintendo was really cooking with Mario Odyssey and Red Faction Gorilla as the ingredients. It was a crossover nobody knew who they wanted. It's one of the weirdest ones they visioned games yet, and it's absolutely just the light from top to bottom. It's a game that's so unusual. It's actually a little off-putting at first. Like, what the hell is this? What am I playing? The more you play it, the more it makes sense. And it's hard to believe they were able to get a platform where you basically destroy everything, and the game just works. The ambition is off the charts, and it works. Like, it has a fun ride from start to finish, an entire ending sequence. A year full of some amazingly hype endings. Bonanza might have the hypest. But jumping ahead to September 4th, that's the mega time bomb. It is known as Hollow Knight Silksong. It was a meme because it took so long to come out. Most wishlist game on Steam for many years. It was inevitable this thing was at least going to be a game of the discussion for whatever year it actually got. As long as it's good. And while Monster Hunter Wilds, Not to Cry 2, Silksong is actually has a controversial part. And difficulty, this one caught me by surprise. But when it comes to difficult games, I never really know where the pendulum swings in terms of overall opinion. But yeah, it's extremely challenging games. Got universal praise like Elden Ring. Sometimes they generate a lot of criticism. Like opinions about Silksong are pretty hot right now. A lot of added parts. And then it gets fan community. I think game press opinions are a lot more general. We gave our first impression. We weren't completely sure which way to lean on it, but haven't been able to. I mean, I was crazy positive about the game. I was not sure whether to say it was what it needed to be or not. It's such excellent, so dense, satisfying. There's so many little details to see. And it's so much fun to explore. And there's sometimes it makes you want to pull your hair out, yes, but it also does play fair. It's very challenging. I never feel like the game made me die. I feel like I died playing the game not good enough. The challenge is crazy, but it is super satisfying fun. You were initially struggling, but like just what you're getting here is nuts. For $20, you have 50 hours of content. That's not 100%. I think it's not accessible in the way that the original Hollow Knight is, but another game that deserves a spot is actually last year's Indiana Jones Great Circle. It wasn't eligible last year because it was released in December. I don't think it's going to get the attention it deserves because it came out last year and I don't think about it. Man, is it the next game? It's probably Machine Game's best. It's the best Indiana Jones adventure since the last Crusade by Freaking Country Final. Gameplay is like closer to Dishonored than Uncharted. Super satisfying blockbuster. But I just want to give a shout out here because I don't think other than that was left. There's a few upcoming games potential. Like Hades 2 is releasing out early access. Ghost of Tsushima is coming October 2nd. It's been a while since we've got a proper AAA PlayStation game of the year. And the first Ghost of Tsushima still holds a special place in a lot of parts. Right now it's kind of hard to say how much attention follows. What is it going to bring? That the original didn't. We'll see. Is it more of the game? Is that what we want? Is that enough? These are all questions. There's more big games coming out with you. I mean, Silent Hill F is going to be a big one. Battlefield 6, Black Ops 7, then you got 4, Vampire Line 2, Outer Worlds 2, Metroid Prime 4. But it's going to be a few of these that aren't even eligible. Call of Duty games also just don't appear. Battlefield not indicting quality. They don't generate kind of budget. Voting volume. That game like Silent Hill F, we've done right, but it's kind of wild card. Go you thing. We've been surprised so many times this year. So who knows? So here, these are the games that I think are likely to be in the running. There's your Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Dungeon Bonanza, Hollow Knight Silksong, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Split Fiction, Blueprints, and maybe based on what happens when it comes out with the game is reputation, certainly precedes it, but it could be Hades 2 is a really good game. The first one got a lot of buzz, of course, but this is not going to be the first one did. Might be wrong, but sweep the awards like the first game did. At least right now, I just not see the hype. That's 7 pretty legitimate contenders for the big award. Even though we're leaving out some pretty popular well-regarded games, maybe Mario Kart World is very high rated. And Elden Ring came out this year, so and it's not even in conversation. But packed here without question. That's not even conversation. The classic Dark Horse candidates sweep in out of nowhere. I mean, clearly, games are called Dark Horses. I don't expect any of them to be run. Maybe they should be run, but I don't expect it. Like Schedule 1, it's a standout indie game, but it's just a little too early access. Delta Chapter 3 and 4 could get some attention. And then there's the Dark Horse tool. Look outside. Then it's burrowed into my brain, just won't go away. It's a relatively crude RPG making game that's on managed to be one of the most haunting, legitimately scary, yet also hilarious games I've ever played. There's nothing out there quite like Look Outside, or I think about it. You feel deserves serious consideration of these companies. It's pretty far from material. But look at the list. It's eclectic as hell. And it runs from most stars that are AAA to Spring Falling. Moon Prince was made by one guy, a fellow developer. Silksong was by 3 guys. And it's triple the amount of guys, but very few guys. These guys in indie games, they would have no chance in hell. But here's like more is chance. Indies are, I mean, the idea of an indie game is because it means you don't release it. It's possible. Probably what talked about in highly anticipated game of the year is Silksong. So who's going to win though? Now that I have no idea. Last year the winner was Astrobot. That took some by surprise. 2024 is kind of in a similar place for your winner, but I don't think quality of the content is quite the same. Everything's like really good. Like there's definitely some games we've mentioned today that are going to be considered all-time greats. We will remember at least some of these games decades from now. As good as this year's roster is, I kind of think Air Sphere might be front runner. Kind of just can't for the type of person that votes in these things. It's got the attention, got the hype. It's also an out of nowhere small developer doing something crazy and big, but that doesn't mean the outcomes are. Sometimes the safest pick is the most controversial pick. I suspect that played a bit of a part in why Astrobot won. Not that game, but some people were kind of mad because it was just a safe choice. It's a great game. If 2025 has an equivalent, maybe that's surrounding Split Fiction. Possibly, again, depending on how it is when it comes out, goes to say. Big breakaway here is that you're into a wide variety of games. It's been a really good year. A lot of different stuff to play. And even if you're only interested in the absolute best in sports attention, there's still a lot to get about. Of course, not every single game on here is going to be a beat. And sure, the Game Awards is literally just popularity. You know what we're talking about here. There's plenty of great games. I'm not going to knock. A lot of these games are somebody's favorite game. Guys awards favor a certain kind of game, usually single player, generally story driven, often can be demanding or innovative, while still maintaining a level of quality. So the truth is that whatever wins or loses, it doesn't matter. What really matters is your own personal game, your own favorite, your own not so favorite. Though it is nice to see something get recognized on a wider stage. 2002, Pretty Frank Market, dominated by one player of the universe. So Red Bull had convinced the world they were the only game in town. Tracking California, follow though, flying something rather obvious. How did Monster, starting 50 market, manage to solve the $1 billion empire after half the US and eventually trigger a $5 billion acquisition? And why did dozens of other Red Bull shops fail? That's what we're breaking down today. Plus, targeting story of successful brand efforts. Monster's trouble rise. Go back. The year is 2000. Red Bull has already started and dominated market. Company brave enough to challenge them have all been Rocky Sacks and Hilton entrepreneurs who had acquired a struggling world. They had been watching Red Bull's passion and saw some other challenges. Not a product copy, but playbook. Not only Red Bull to break the rules. Monster's first move shocked. And copy Red Bull. Design went totally opposite. Though Red Bull was small, with sophisticated, Monster created a visual and physical identity, big, bold, aggressive. Some targeting lesson. When challenging the dominant player, don't compete Monster succeeded. With Red Bull's price wasn't value. They funded of the entire category. The name Monster. This flaw, black, colors, everything designed, rebellion. Red Bull had built the tools and it decided cloud, aggressive, intelligent, body sacks, deep, monster, and unlike Red Bull's case, that was functional. Monster focused on bigger, strategy, brilliant, counter, bigger, bolder, better, most important, skill, they Red Bull. But having products function, isn't enough. Monster was about yeah. So Red Bull built Monster made decision, they partnered with Pfizer. Single Monster access to 100 wide relationships with every retailer, trying to put a position here and experience purchase. And here comes marketing two. Global infrastructure. Leverage. Former member, Mark Asher. Monster and Bench Jack. And Danny Hill. Love it. Months. Bench had another defense. Though Red Bull was simply building. Monster held it. Marketing. Product development. Though Red Bull was creating empire defense. Empire. Monster took a different. Cultures rather than marketing. Don't put culture. Get yourself. Tribe. Monster identifies tribes. Followers and themselves present. Photographs, story, martial arts, rocky, MX, game, rally, monster, brand, passion. Different Red Bull players for Red Ice, monster, and master below, all legs cross X. It's like 40 tech, their target audience. And here just going to target that monster, Red Bull, and monster, 20 body, monster, turn on this strategy, 100, investment, mark all monster, don't build. The deal was unprecedented. Coca-Cola for entire royal monster. Return monster. Most importantly, monster. Coca-Cola is a global powerful beverage. In 2015, monster suddenly fell from 70,000 per liquid. By 2017, monster market value sold nearly 50. The results, monster 2002 revenue, 2020 revenue. The stock price rose 70,000. Global market 39. For investors, early for well, monster $10,000 invested in natural monster 2003 with over 7. And here's the part. It shows manufacturing what medical marketing. Monster only was spending 50 bills. Here comes our fifth final. Now maybe monster. So we learn monster for marriage. Let me count the 5 action lessons for any. First off, French side. Building monster tried to medical. They created it entirely different. And it's all category and the Lord of the Rings has lots of different types. Elven War and people has there's the Lord of the Rings has lots of different types. Elven War and people has there's a million in the background world that goes for them. If you don't want to see it all, you're it's starting to it's easy to think of wizards as humans, magic like elsewhere, but in the Lord of the Rings are no angels. They're called sorry. And there are 5 of them. White, gray, brown. Their power comes most supernatural and not so much focus. They're sent by I think people of the world not wildly Saruman in the Bible. Perfect dragon. Magic and nobody felt that's now where there's angels, there's a god in his universe. Kidding, there was not a heroine. Nothing more insignificant concept. Our angels are called the Ainur and are divine groups. Valar guardian, world that reports. So wizards are the Valar, 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 all created by Luke's and all the sang together. World. The army started outbreak. There was one Valar named Melkor. Just a Melkor. No what's going to happen for learning also. The smartest, powerful living tools also. Melkor didn't want this to be part, of course, like it's for Valar. But we're wanted to song for others and created also. The Melkor song also inspires society. Balrog. Balrog is so level on the same level of power or Gandalf. Playing why an old man to hold the crown. Through his service, Melkor also created worlds. Rules which finally does are other Valar also their own non-detailed creatures, though in more proper. When it feels how they did towards the all of the planets in the world were happy about that minor. While Luke Marcy happy most of the stuff and else makes it special and kind of above all the sorry. And of the men are children. Shows it and short lives also that not that, but their short lives are from other people. They aren't the world like else, so are evil for all you can get stuff done. Or elves on the are so kind of world they're practically take the big more than right. All but follow the flow of nature and partly why you have some parts when faced with army force. Melkor was powerful but couldn't make it great. And so she like partly for them to take it. This is Melkor was up to of torture elves on through the my attention that evil war that Melkor uses about him. All the conflict in the Lord long after good versus evil. Sauron caused all the trouble. One of the Bios so that part of his fear and Melkor and back and forth each take a ring to focus. But that's a story for another time. Last but not least, have similarly related sports around common are such important their origin to them. Now with the ability to build just like it. What about my first ever King of GT? What about my first ever King of GT? I didn't know what to I'm not just like on the internet, drove halfway across the country to pick it up. But I thought I didn't actually ran into a good rate train. And eventually I got a program to all I bought brand new ones first. Then I started looking at people actually well done. Pretty much all the wiring fine. Like every glitch of this is going forward. Obviously if I had no problem for the rest of the damage cost of hobby. And I ended up putting the entire rear trunk together, entire front trunk back. Further investigation revealed the wheel trunk here. I need bed on that wheel. I don't see it. I don't mind bed. There's just one. It looks perfect, of course. That's not. I also found I had a crossbar in that same garage side rear area, which I replaced. And also had cost replaced best Valtron. I also did the headers while I was at it. Yeah, it's totally blew my neck. It sounds incredible. It wasn't that much damage to the car. I already fixed some of it. Some damage left. I'm hoping to get all of it done so I can take it once first. Let's start with the wheels. Both wheels on the driver's side damage finish wise and also at least the rear one and all the is all good. Older one starts to be a lot like those old Rubik's cubes in high school. Professor, they're way better. They're safe. Something that use the reason that's this is way for individual people. Always limit this game. It's really satisfying too. You can use it by rotating it. This, use it by rotating it like this, up and down. Also, close one. Way better. At the current moment, I can't drive cars. It's one, not too big, but I have a whole bunch of other wheels. This may work. But I think this may work. I have them. I mean, I have a whole slew of wheels tires. By the way, every single set of wheels tires here is for sale. Somebody please buy them. I'm running out. Yes, these are too wide. Yeah, thing is rough. Ah, crap. This reminds me of something else. Spacer. I think the 18 is actually just too small. It's such I think they actually cleared it. But if it goes down, I cut it. Well, unfortunately, guys, this is going to the rear side stick out. I don't know how to bring it down. Maybe probably the front is though. The break down, you see the bolts in the wheel. They're actually bottom line. Not break. This never goes. That's what's so I think three wheels. I didn't realize the factory wheels are 20s. The biggest wheels I have are 19s. They already. That's really my last good part. Oh, that makes sense. Turbo wheels. I know these are 30. Like what? Correction. You know, right. No. Instruct. That's what space. Crap. This wheel is not going to work. This wheel is not going to work. This wheel is not going to work. This wheel definitely not. I think I'm using the cross. Basically, like packing top wheels back down the place. Yeah, fix it. Fix it. I also need to figure out which like I have. I'm not sure what option. I have an idea, but the best way to find out is to take the part off for that. And fortunately, it's closer. Instead of searching for one like the driver's side, red lights actually hook you up to basically brand new lights. Check out our website. If you're fortunate lights, finish it. They do the best. They're completely refurbished lights, 5 red lights, brand new lenses, and they're black. Okay. That's wrong. These models here, you know what things up this just a regular wear there. This whole brand new lens, nice red. Now I just brand new lights going. Oh yeah. Everything pretty good. Except like, look amazing. I think I'm glad I went with OEM rather than something aftermarket. Now I think all you can front end is a bumper. That's a whole problem in and of itself. Get into a little bit later. One step closer. It is saying on the road. While we're up in the front end, there is nothing about this one. Most of you guys I realize what I'm thinking. Stand on the side. Perfect. Finish. Front truck. In short time, the wheel repair facility called me and said that my wheels are done, but they're not quite the right color. I mean, I'm not the best with seeing colors, but I don't think they're supposed to be any blue. Here's stock wheels. So I've got to take my good wheels over there so they can make sure to match it correctly. That's perfect. But now they're straight around here. Hit 3 wheels tires. 80 something. Thank you very much. I got everyone's line. Okay, let me ask you. See, wait, are you? I really have those two out and for taking off the tire, mounting, rebalancing, after refinishing and fixing fence, cost me less than $400 total. Then it's a whole heck of a lot cheaper than buying 8 different sets of wheels and tires that you guys are inevitably going to anyway. With this type of stock wheels so far, but anyways, if your tires feel good, and everything came out really, really nice. This is like this one done. Another thing, these refinish wheels on the same side, so there is a slight color differentiation. This thing is only what we're going to do for that. This kind of disgusting possessor. Yeah. Now, to all my detailing and next in the comment section, this was a very, very quick thing. I basically get all the auction dust and transport dust, factor dust, all that stuff out of the car. I get a little more enjoyable drive. A full detail, sometimes hopefully some upgraded interior design. Carbon fiber, maybe some body seats, I find a big deal. Temperature access, like that stereo traits. This video is certainly better. Oh, and I'd like to get an actual five changer. This is good. You guys know about this or I think the mount is but the actual five changer, I don't know what actually goes. And without being anything, you can tell that the interior is virtually perfect. It's really well taken care of, and the fact that no airbags played is a huge bonus as well. favorite part, but also the most nerve-wracking part. Driving car for the first time. I'm not super nervous about this car because the D33 is like I basically hauled that whole car together. Nothing stopped. This entire car, GT4 is pretty much stock. I don't think anything wrong. One thing, fuel steers this. And listen to the wind to push that down. That's not ideal in driving. That's good. So here we go. Already things that are absolute poop. Also, that's not about the driving experience is everything about the end. This metal car. The only thing is that the tire pressure like the steering wheel is all set to the right. Wowzers. And we just put down this list. This is cool. I've never driven any type of look at my face is 100% legit enthusiasm this far blew me away. That's without me hammering. 4,000 RPM, and this far, wow. It's not straight, it's weird. Steering wheel so off. And that's so straight. That's what motor. That's what motor. This thing sounds incredible. Feels incredible. Looking back, things people were please so hard. We finished 2 wheels, put about trying to get that's all it took. Running, driving, really perfect. This car is awesome. I think I'm right. Obviously, the car still needs some work, some body work, the front bumper, a couple other minor things, but other than that, the thing is nearly packed 100%. Already. So, okay. Your car ran into excellently, but let's see what popped up on the dash. The trunk codes or any other problems that I pressed. You know. What happened last year? I turned all this forward track control and whatnot. So I guess that's I got a minus 26 psi tire pressure, wildly accurate, and my brain something or other. That's it. So I think that new head that I had program or coded. I don't know who, how to do that using the other side. I've never had a bigger smile and a smile for a longer period of time. And I changed this on the first place. So good. It's a worst case scenario. It's so good. I've been trying to buy a GT4 car for months. I found multiple online, but this one seemed to be the right one. I felt like everything was going my way. I probably drove halfway across the country, then someone tries to see. This one, heck, the story. Let me go back to the beginning. So that's just me up. There's 30 seconds before live bid. We'll see. Hopefully my bid is high enough. Let's see if we can deal. We'll find out. GT4 still for 100 grand views. I think 3 grand for one that's total. It's a pretty good deal. We got 90 seconds left, boys. 90 seconds. Well, here we go, boys. Got to wait a couple minutes to make sure that one lost. Check back with you. Yeah, buddy. Your boy is now a proud owner of the 2016 Cayman GT4. And 75 after the This item is far up for months, just waiting for it to go to auction. Then it suddenly did, the bidding process started. All hard to crash it, all it goes, it costs like 20 bucks, the bumper, and the front bumper. These GT4s go for about an average of $100,000 used, so anything under 50 or around 50, I think, would be a steal in this car, especially since it runs the drives and being sold by Stress. I learned my lesson coach. The car shows 3 previous owners and has service history, and even lists the damage to the minor moderate from crash. They're all the time. Not gonna pack up trucks, trailer, is your press, truck a long drive. Yes, happy that I pitch down. And not so much the car, and the trailer going up. That's a lot of it. Please stay hard. Keep this in mind for later in the video. And this is another box inside the case box truck and the trailer box. That's why I put this in the trailer stuff. I had a huge list of things I think I'm quite joking about the GT4. A lot of that involved prepping the truck, all the tires, and the trailer, especially the trailer, because if you don't check on, a lot of times I get bugs. I also get the trailer quick wash because it's been a lengthy drive for a year. Quick love, the interior, I don't want to get too hard. And everything was prepped and ready to go to leave that day and sharp the next day. That's awesome. I've done this with any other car. Mainly because it's most reliable and it has most room for all sorts of things. Very much I'm using AW wires. It's so easy. Completely the whole carpet clean. It's excellent. It's so nice to see a pull out. You second pressure washer and you're done. And you go back and make your box. Just wait. And honestly, I think my favorite part about these back, they comes with the wires. Tire truck, full fit, perfectly. Very this. Now these wires you get from flat. If your car doesn't have any format, has these factory formats, we all know get dirty, stuffy, and nasty. I got 3W. Because they high quality master MPVs, SUVs, and trucks. And obviously, the WG and 3W is having a sale. Number 9. Number 30. If you order off. If you register on the VW website, claim an extra surprise gift. But only time this is limited time offer. 3:30 in the morning, Friday, relatively complete place. Well, sorry. It was a 10-hour drive past the no, but there was rain, hail, and then food park was delayed, so I actually had to spend an extra night back in the park for the next morning. That's it. I was hoping the car wanted to drive, so they didn't use the public plane out like they would. Of course, it was very, very praiseworthy. They absolutely did it. They got to move around. Now it's time to take the first look at the car and see if it does want to drive. It's going to make a lot of sense. It does. Well, let's see. It's not fun. The car fired right up. I didn't need much help. Or any lights for dash other than low tire pressure. So it was looking really good. Now I got my first look at the car actually. I was like, in person, it might even look better than it did in the online option. Guys, you're picking up like 15 comments. We're going to stop it and turns out you got me on YouTube. I don't know about that. Everything is going nearly perfectly and exactly to plan, so I came out to the truck the next morning. It was locked. At least it didn't take the camera. I came outside to find someone broken in my truck, and I didn't really have. It was 8 in the morning. We had a 12-hour drive in front of us. I just wanted to get. A lot of diesel fuel, a lot of feedstock, a lot of swearing in my truck. I was angry the whole way home. We made it. And the Porsche, truck, trailer were all in good condition. Here, but really, I didn't talk about much of those. Infuriated by the entire situation. People, I picked up the car, put it in the trailer, and we drove to Nashville and looked at another car, and then stayed in a nice hotel outside Nashville. It was not downtown, had a huge parking lot. I actually paid for it. Very nice. That's really, they're not. I kind of parked far away from other vehicles and options. Because it's a truck trailer, takes up a lot of room. And when I did, I pulled the Cayman into the trailer, put the window down, thankfully, put the electronic parking brake on, locked the car, and then padlocked the entire trailer, let the truck hook up to it. Took the keys when the Cayman and put it in the truck. My reasoning behind that was, if someone's going to break into the trailer, they won't have keys to the car. If someone breaks into the truck, they'll have keys, but they won't be able to get the car. It's car will be in the truck. I thought there was 0% chance of that happening. But still, when I bought all the locks I did, because nothing was stolen, other than we came out in the morning, and he hits my truck before me. He goes, "Matt, what's your truck?" I thought he was messing with me or saying there was a leak. Something about the truck. No, like I thought he stopped out in the function. Then I opened the door. My heart sank. As soon as I opened the door, top of the box, bottom of the box, center top open, papers and stuff scattered everywhere throughout the entire movie. Someone got in my truck, threw into it, trying to find something. I had something value in there. I had this camera, which is worth money, so usually they write it across work. They went in there. I had no packs. I had the little air compressor. I had tools. None of that was taken. So I was like, okay, it's all good. Everything's fine. I had brought my laptop in the hotel, editing. Thankfully, because I would have got it. So that's fine. And I'm like, oh no. I realized that zip tie outside the truck. And that zip tie is what Cooper always uses to attach keys to the steering column of the car. Now we can attach it walk around the steering wheel, attach the steering column to the truck. So that zip tie was laying outside. No longer. Right then I knew. They sold the Porsche. Then I immediately went all around the trailer. I was thinking, they very well could have worked. They told me track market was. Thankfully, all padlocks still in place. Nothing was missing. 7 at the Nashville airport. Any guys have any information that would lead who did this? I'll give $1,000 for work. I want to know. You don't have to spend money to get Porsches anyway, but I can buy them. It'll bring me a lot of joy. Basically, we just ended up driving home. I was really mad for a long time. I'm so bad now.